And hello, movie lovers. So I actually have a very special guest with me. I have Vernon from It Is What It Is podcast. And pretty soon we're going to be joined by Abby from Motor City Nerds. And we're going to be talking about the trailers that dropped during the Super Bowl. And we're also going to react to them. And yes, I did do up my trailer reactions and stuff like that. But we are going to look at them and talk about them and talk about what our favorites are, rank them, and all that good stuff. So with further ado, let's get on with the show. Hey, Vernon, how you been doing, man?
John, I'm well. Thanks for having me back on.
You're very welcome. I do appreciate it. And last time we were on here, we were actually talking about trailers. So what better way to have you back on talking about trailers again?
That'll work.
Right?
Right.
So I know that you watched a little bit of the Super Bowl and stuff like that too. And what were some of the standouts for you as far as the trailers go?
Some of the standouts, man, honestly, I think The Flash was the best trailer that I saw. It not just caught my interest. The guest appearance, I don't want to say guest appearance, but the appearance of Michael Keaton, just the whole, I felt like it was finally a DC movie that they thought about. They didn't, write the script on the iPad note section and shoot it with, camera and dim light like they did the last movie with Robert Pattinson. Like they actually invested real resource time in thinking into this movie, and I was really elated by it. Indiana Jones is a nostalgia movie. It has its audience. I don't think it's going to be bad. I don't think it's going to be great. It's just going to be one of those things. Transformers, but honestly, Flash was the best commercial. Fast 10 was the worst, but Flash was the best trailer I saw during the Super Bowl.
Okay, so I think we're gonna go on ahead and go on. Which one do you want to do? Want to do Flash, Indiana Jones, 65, Transformers, Super Mario Brothers, or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
I feel like Guardians almost touched it. I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
Guardians was the second. Guardians really was the more high quality one. Let's start with Guardians.
Okay. We'll go with Guardians of the Galaxy. So we're gonna go ahead. There we go. All right.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm Star-Lord. I formed the Guardians. Met a girl, fell in love. That girl died, but then she came back. Came back a total dick.
Oh, please. You left out some important information, but what is the gist of it?
I get the same old dreams, same time every night. Fall to the ground and I wake up.
My sacred mission
Is to create the perfect society.
He didn't want to make things perfect. He just hated things the way they are. I want you all to know that I'm grateful to fight beside my friends.
Incinerate them.
We were always searching for a family until we found each other. Are you ready for one last ride? We'll all fly away together into the forever and beautiful sky.
Whoever it was that you were in love with, it sounds more like her.
Her? That's ridiculous.
Do not bring me into this.
Knock it off!
What?
Just never noticed how black your eyes were.
They were replaced by my father as a method of torture.
He picked a pretty set.
Okay. So my thing is this, okay? I said this in my trailer reaction. I said I just wish they didn't show Peter at the very end of the trailer dying, even though that was actually in the other trailers. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually Rocket Raccoon that they're carrying and not Peter, doing a little bit of misconception. Because we've seen where they do that before.
Oh, Batista's character?
No, Rocket.
Oh, Rocket. Yeah. I think initial reaction to the Guardians is it's coming to an end. That phase, Marvel is trying to phase out. Thor wasn't in this one, so which is great because but this it was just it's really bringing it all into a conclusion. Batista, I think Zoe Saldana, even Dan Diesel, because I think of Groot, like they're all kind of ending, like they're right. Really ending and relaunching.
They're just phasing them out.
Phasing them out. So that's what the movie's going to be. I honestly think it's going to be kind of like Spider-Man. When Spider-Man ended, it left you on a cliffhanger. He was like, what's going to really happen? Really looking forward to it, even though I'm not the biggest Guardian fan as far as like my favorite team within the Marvel universe. They're a solid group, a solid product. They've never put out any bad content, anything Hawkeye resemblance. So I have nothing negative to say. Looking forward to the movie.
I'm definitely looking forward to the movie, but I'm thinking too that we're actually going to see Rocket getting spliced. Like, I think that's going to be a flashback scene of a callback from the very first Guardians movie where he goes, well, I've been split apart so many times and put back together so many times that he lost track. So I'm thinking that we're going to see that in this one. And I think that Rocket's going to die. We have, because of the fact with that. Oh, Abby's in here. Hey, Abby.
Hey. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Hi.
So we just got done talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I'm scared of that.
I just got done telling my initial thoughts on why I'm scared of it, because number one, I'm thinking that Rocket Raccoon's going to die. I'm thinking...
Rocket's my favorite, and that's what I'm worried about. I was like, either Rocket's going to die or he's going to be able to go off into the distance happily, but either way, he's going to be gone. But then I'm like, no, I think he's going to go.
I think behind all the humor that he's been in pain for so long, to the point where he's going to, because remember, I even mentioned this to Vernon in the very first one. He said, well, I've been ripped apart, spliced apart so many times to the point where he's just basically hurting. I'm thinking that underneath all that, he's hurting.
And I like that they're showing more of his backstory, which also makes me think we're going to lose him. But that's why I always liked him and Bucky teaming up in that one shot. Cause it's like, okay, we got people that were chopped up and put back together fighting with each other. It was just cool. I like that. But I really do. It's one of those things where I think that Rocket really is in my top 3 favorite MCU characters. But he also does remind me of my best friend in a good way. Not in a I'll steal your body part way. Let me tell you.
Right. Thank God for that. But, I think this movie looks good. I think that I can't wait to see it in May. This is actually one of my, not my top tier, but on my lower tier. Remember when we're doing the most anticipated movie list, Abby, when we were talking about that? So it's like, it's in the middle. I just have other movies that I prioritized over this one. And one of them is actually coming out this month. And then another one is coming out at the end of next month as well. And that's John Wick coming out. But before we get into those movies and stuff like that, let's go on ahead. We have another trailer that we're going to want to do. So which ones do you want to look at? Do you want to look at The Flash? Do you want to look at Indiana Jones? I have the 65 trailer, and I also have the Transformers and Super Mario Brothers.
Whatever you guys want to do. If you want to save The Flash, because you know how I go full J. Jonah Jameson, John.
Right. I think we'll save The Flash for last.
We can save that for a little bit.
All right.
But I do feel like they listen to us fans, because I was like, no, just pivot to the Keats. Give us the Keats.
But Keith,
we'll get into
that in a minute. So let's go on ahead. Let's take a look at the Indiana Jones trailer because I didn't get the chance to react to this one. So this would be my first time reacting to this with you guys. I reacted to the other ones that we had, but not this one. So let's see what we have as far as the trailer reaction for that one.
I haven't reacted to this either, so I'm with you.
Okay, let's do it. Let's react together. Okay.
You ever met? My memory's a little fuzzy. Are you still a Nazi? Give him hell, Indiana Jones! What are you doing here?
Oh my god.
Wow.
I like that.
Wow.
I do too.
I feel like that's very to its roots. I feel like I'm a kid
It
again.
has a Temple of Doom kind of feel to it that I really was hoping that they would go for, and they're going back to where they started from, which is something that they should have done instead of giving us aliens, because that had nothing to do with it. So, speaking of
And nobody
aliens, we
wants to
have the
see
legal
that.
alien. There was Indiana Jones 4. Oh, wait.
Oh, hi, legal aliens. I see you guys. What's up? But no, my thing is why we don't want to see Indiana Jones with aliens. We
No.
want to see him
By
raiding
Nazis.
tombs and stuff. Like, which,
Right.
yeah, no, we don't want to see that. But I am excited for Indiana Jones, and because Harrison Ford don't want to do nothing, and this actually looks like
It looks like
he's having a
got
little
his
bit of
character
fun.
back.
I didn't know if Harrison Ford could still have fun.
I mean, he's 80. I mean, Harrison, I don't think we've got to realize, like, this isn't Han Solo Harrison. This is,
No, that's true. I get it. But I'm like, you are still crashing tiny planes, my friend.
He is.
But no, you are right. And I do feel bad when people like harp on people too hard because I'm like, maybe let them enjoy their life.
Right.
But I'm excited to see this come back.
Me too, because
Is
I wasn't sure
Spielberg
what we
a
were
part
going
of
to
it?
get. What's that?
Is Spielberg a part of it?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't. I know he's a producer, but I don't think he's the director for it.
I just hope that he's in the vicinity.
This definitely tells that he has his thumbprints on it, though.
Yeah.
Especially with the plane ride, whenever the woman's hanging outside the airplane, and he goes, "What are you doing here?" Then it looked like Harrison has his energy back up, unless he actually took some caffeine pills while he was actually on set,
CGI.
and also took some of his cholesterol medicine too, which also helps. But
CGI, man.
Well, that's my thing too. That I find it's cool that we see like our generation getting older, and now like these directors, and you can definitely tell they're huge fans and inspired by, and really genuine. It's like John. It's like Favreau, John Favreau. That's his name.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
him with the Mandalorian and stuff. You can tell, or Deborah Chow. You can tell that they really loved Star Wars, and so they stay very close to it. So I think that's a really interesting thing to see these new directors do stuff, but you can definitely tell they have their own thumbprint on it, but they really loved the stuff that we all love.
Yeah.
And they know, like, no, we have to stay in this vein. This is how it goes. And I think that's a really cool thing that's been happening a lot lately, and I like it.
I do too. What about your initial thoughts, Fernan?
So, I grew up watching Indiana Jones because my mom was a huge Indiana Jones. I feel like a huge Harrison. I just feel like she just had a crush on Harrison Ford because I've seen Indiana Jones. I saw the movie when he played the president and they like hijacked the plane. I saw the movie where, it seemed like every Harrison Ford movie just because of her. And, so I respect Harrison. Harrison definitely is a valuable piece within Hollywood. He's a timepiece now. I mean, you think like Harrison is 80, he's still very active and doing cowboy stuff, but he's just an older person. This will speak to that, right? This is gonna definitely touch upon nostalgia heavier. Obviously, you see a lot of CGI, probably a lot of body doubles. So it'll be great.
I don't mind that though.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I think
And not
everybody.
only that, but they're using the de-aging process with
Like
Harrison Ford. And what Harrison said in the interview, he's like, it's really scary on how old that they made me look. I look like I'm back to being young again. And
I bet that is trippy. Like I can't I bet you that is super weird.
Yeah, and you can see it. I mean, and it's not bad. I mean, they did that with It was in The Irishman with Robert De Niro. They did the reverse aging thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So I see like Hollywood is taking that and is extending the life and the careers of the actors and actresses.
Didn't they do that with? Because I was gonna say I think Luke in The Mandalorian was really good, but
That's
Samuel
deep
Jackson,
faking.
didn't they do that to him in one of them? And I was
Yeah.
shocked. I was like, this looks like you
Well-
took him out of another movie, and just it doesn't look like CGI at all. I was shocked.
Well, there's a difference between deep faking and de-aging.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you guys knew that or not, but deep faking is basically you're just putting a mask over the other character and putting that person's face on them, and they're not doing any type of dialogue or anything like that. Now, when you're looking at de-aging, that's something that we got with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in The Irishman, which you have movement, you can talk, you can do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between de-aging and de-faking.
Okay.
I mean, it's good. It's good.
Well, and that's my thing too. Is like when people get mad at actors for when they're like, oh yeah, they're like this, and they're all grouchy and stuff. Like you said, he's 80, and I respect the fact that Harrison Ford straight says stuff in interviews, and he's like, I do what I want, and if I'm irritated, I'm gonna be irritated. If I'm happy, I'm gonna be happy, and I can respect that about Harrison Ford. I love.
He paid his dues. Harrison paid his dues.
Yeah, he's paid his dues. There's nothing you can, do. I mean,
Right.
Harrison Ford is a legend. So if he decides to do this, it's just as Harrison Ford. So is it high on my anticipation list for 2024? Or 2023. 2023. Yeah,
Let's ask the real question. How excited is your mom?
Right. Maybe on my mom's, not on mine. Honestly, I'm gonna put the Big George Foreman movie over Indiana Jones. Like
That looks so good.
Yeah, it's just not. It's good, but it's not drawing.
Okay.
Yeah, I can feel that. I mean, I'm pumped for it just to go back but I'm not like I gotta get out to see it like immediately, and I feel bad saying that kind of, but I'll support you, Harrison.
Yeah.
Always.
I think that once my friends go out and see it, and once word of mouth comes out and see it, I'll be excited for it to the point where I'm like, you know what? I think I'll go out and check out the Indiana Jones movie now, to where the point I actually do get hyped because of the positive word of mouth. Right now, it's like, do I really need to go out to the theater to spend $8 to go and see Indiana Jones, especially after being let down at the last one? Even though this trailer shows the energetic, shows the passion that Harrison has, and he's just not playing Harrison Ford, he's playing Indiana Jones.
Right.
So, for me, I'm gonna have that on my lower tier for now. But
I'm just excited to see Harrison Ford it looks like he's having fun again.
Right. And that's
I'd
always
like
a good
to see
thing.
that.
Same here. So next we have 65. We also have the Transformers, and then we have Super Mario Brothers. So which one do you want?
I'm kind of okay. This is separate from what we do, but I kind of got beef with Nintendo right now. I do not like what they're doing to the Super Smash community, and I'm like, I kind of don't want to give you my money to go see Mario just to spite you, even though I know you're Nintendo and it doesn't matter. But I'm like, you kind of pissed me off, but we all love Mario. That's the thing too, is like, I played Mario, but I'm a PS1 kid.
Me too. I'm a PlayStation 1 kind of guy.
I'm like, I like Mario. I went to my cousins and played N64 and everything, but I'm not like,
I get
let's
it.
go.
I get it.
So
65 it is.
Okay, let's do 65.
And Nintendo, you're being jerks. Like, just flat out.
Share screen. Okay. So the Super Mario. Okay, so
You know what I'm most pumped for, John. You know what me and Mom are most pumped for.
I know you're excited for John Wick.
It's
I'm
coming.
excited for that. That's at my end of the month March list. I'm also excited about Scream, but I'm not doing a Scream reaction because I've already done 2 of them to the point where I'm like, I'm done. I'm screamed out as far as trailer reactions go.
And by the way, if anybody sees this, go check out John's coverage of Scream. I love it. It's awesome.
Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed
very
it.
much.
I do appreciate that. But I did see the first trailer for this one, and I didn't do a reaction for it. But this has a very Turok. If you remember the video game Turok from the N64,
I remember it.
this has a very Turok kind of horror movie, kind of sci-fi kind of feel to it, which makes me geeked out over this, that Adam Driver signed on for this. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you will soon. So let's
Yeah,
go
isn't
on
this
ahead.
like I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I haven't posted some of my reactions, but this one I didn't see yet. But this is like a post-apocalyptic thing, right?
With aliens and stuff like
I
different.
like that Adam
on the planet.
Driver goes all over the place.
Me
Like
too.
he's like, yeah, sign me up. I'll do it. I appreciate that.
Matter of fact, my other favorite Adam Driver movie was with him and Channing Tatum called Logan Lucky, which was real. It's underrated. It has Daniel Craig in it, and they're playing two rednecks who's trying to break Daniel Craig out so that way they can do a heist. And they're trying to break him out of prison to do a heist.
Okay.
It's very interesting and very underrated. So
Can I just ask you guys a
recommend.
question real quick? When you said Daniel Craig, anytime anybody brings up, I ask this, have you guys ever seen Layer Cake?
No.
Okay, never mind. It's like that's how they found him for James Bond, but it's a jammy. It's just a jammy,
Okay.
and I like
Okay.
it. But keep going.
Alright.
Let's do this. I'm going off
Yeah.
topic. You know how I am, John.
Okay.
Oh, the path. There's dinosaurs. Oh, I like this.
Exclusively in movie theaters March 10th.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I want to fight dinosaurs and run around. That looks sick.
Now you see what I'm talking about, how it looks like Turok from the N64 video game. I know Vernon knows what I'm talking
I
about.
know exactly what you're talking about. Arrows and everything. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Which one was Gauntlet on? Is that N64? Just so you guys know, that's the only one I was proficient at was Gauntlet. And
Oh.
I'm like, nobody ever knows what that is.
No.
But no, this looks sick. And I mean, this is like every little kid's dream, right? Like this looks like playing with your toys and going, oh, and here comes the dinosaur and here comes the pterodactyl. And then I appreciate anything that can entertain several generations. And this kind of looks that way.
It does look a lot of fun. I mean, it has a horror element into it mixed in with this action adventure type movie. And I'm hoping that it has like a slow pace to build up into that area.
Yeah.
And not like, okay, dinosaur, 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 jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. I'm hoping this tension of us learning about Adam Driver's character. And then after you learn about him trying to survive out on this place, then you wind up getting the dinosaurs. Then you wind up getting the monsters. Because that's what I want. I want something a little bit more slow pace instead of it being quick. But
That's fair. I just don't want yeah, you're right. I don't want to just be throw everything at me at once and let's go. Like I would like to, I mean, I appreciate anything that's done well and getting to know a character well. This kind of gives me Kong Skull Island vibes
That's
a little
fair.
bit,
That's
which
fair.
was a jam. That was great. But is there going to be several of these? Or is it just
I don't
one?
know.
Okay. That makes me happy because then it makes me think, okay, you just focused on this story. And we're going to get the best of that in just this one, and we're not going, you better get ready for the next 7.
66.
Save it for the 5th one. And you know what I mean? Like that happens all the time now.
Right. But what about you, Vernon? I mean, are you sold on this?
I'm excited. It's an exciting trailer. But I always question when a trailer is too short, are you trying to create suspense?
Vernon,
when a
you
trailer
need to check
too
out the
long.
full. You need to check out the full trailer. This is actually just a 30-second snippet of what the Super Bowl gave us.
Okay.
Once you see that full trailer, you're gonna geek out as much as I do, I think.
Okay. I was about to say, because I was like, it's a little short, and I'm like, when you give a trailer too long, then I feel like you really don't have much to go with, and you want to give all the good stuff up front. My fear is this has 2 ways it could fail. It could either become Jurassic Park and fail, or if it doesn't build up slow and tell the story, it'll try to cheapen it, and it'll be like 10,000 BC, where 10,000 BC really actually could have been like a movie shifter, right? Because 10,000 BC is, to me, what if Avatar was not done by James Cameron. Right, right. Like, and that's just the truth. Like, it's James Cameron that makes the movie work. It's not the blue, but I'm excited. It has a lot of energy. I mean, it's just really fast paced. It's really like this, but it's. I need to see more because if I can't connect with a character, I don't know if the story is deep enough for me to,
to focus and zero in
yeah,
on.
yeah. So I need to see character. That's all.
I gotcha. And you see, for me, I'm actually with you on that one too, because I believe in character development before giving us the plot.
Right.
And everything too, before we actually get thrown in with all these other CGI monsters and stuff like that too. And also those guns look amazing, but I want to see more.
I was gonna say those look sick.
Don't get me wrong, I love action movies, I love sci-fi, but give me a little bit more depth into what I'm watching.
Well, I always
As
tell
far as-
people like when someone says turn your brain off, I get what they mean, but I don't like saying that because I'm like, I don't want to have to. I mean, of course I like my stuff where I don't have to be like and this and that and thinking and a whole lot of thinking. But I'm like, we're not stupid little babies.
Right.
Like you can still do a fun action coming at you movie and not make it. It doesn't have to be for the Oscars, but you don't have to make it like we're stupid idiots and just throw stuff at us. But I will say these dinosaurs look great. And like you guys were saying with the character stuff, I totally agree. And the example I always use when I talk to people is now I'm not hating on it. I loved Boardwalk Empire. And I was like, the only one I care about is Chalky White and some other guy whose name I can't remember. I think the brother. And I was like, I want them to live, but anybody else could get blown away at any moment. And I don't think I'd really care. It's still a good show. But in Sopranos, you're like, I want Tony to live. I want this person to live because we love those characters so much. And that just, I feel like that's a good one to be like I said, this is still a really good show, but I feel like the character development and getting to know the characters in Sopranos is just so well done that we care. And that makes us invested.
Well,
So
the
get
only
us invested and we're good.
One more thing before we close out with that one and go into our next trailer reaction is this. Okay, so the only thing I'm scared of is it's going to get overshadowed and it's coming out at a bad time because you have the Scream movie coming out at the same time as this one. If I was them, I would push that back to at least April.
Yeah, I thought the date was a little odd. I was like, that's soon. I was like, that's real quick.
Or make it a summer blockbuster, even though your summer blockbuster now starts in April, basically.
Yeah.
But I would actually go in and push it back to a summer blockbuster, maybe at August, where you have not that much stuff maybe competing, and do it that way. Scream, despite if anybody's interested or not, just because you're not interested doesn't. You're maybe 1 in a million or billion people that may not be interested, but that doesn't mean other people are not. And
Right.
I'm thinking that this movie is going to get overshadowed by Scream.
Do you think that, do we have any Marvel coming out at that time? Because people get shook by Disney.
Well, we have next month, we have Quantumania.
Oh,
It's coming
there
out.
it is.
Friday.
Yep.
Yep.
Quantumania is coming out.
Yeah, this date is odd. This is when it said March 10th. I was like, what month is it now? But I was like, wait, that's in like a couple of weeks. That's not even far.
Right. So now we actually have the Transformers and Super Mario Brothers.
I'm secretly excited for Transformers, John. You know this. I like robot fighting, and when they turn into, I'm a sucker for dinosaurs and robots turning into them.
I need to make that a t-shirt for you. I'm a sucker for robots and have rocket sock on robots.
I
fighting.
really am though, like Pacific Rim. That's my jam. Who doesn't want to watch robots fighting, especially when they can turn into dinosaurs?
Yeah,
It's
baby.
sick.
True.
But
This might
yeah,
be the only one where I'm like, I don't care about the character development. I just want to see it.
you see, for me, with the Transformers franchise, I only like the first two, and I also like Bumblebee, the
Yeah.
Bumblebee movie, because it's straight away from Michael Bay and all the Michael Bay isms. Hold on, Brandy's at
There was
my
a
wife
Ben
asked
Stiller
me.
commercial. I missed the entire Super Bowl, just so you guys know.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a good time.
But okay, so I think that I'm to be honest with you, I'm actually excited about maybe possibly seeing this one, but at the same time, I'm kind of iffy with it because Vernon reacted to the very first trailer of this with us, and we're like kind of underwhelmed with it. So hopefully, this one might actually bring it in there. We have Pete Davidson who's playing Mirage, and I don't know about this.
Yeah. Well,
This-
the one thing I will say, Michael Bay, you're a creep and a weirdo, but the one thing that man is very, very good at is action. And those Transformers transforming did look, and it was awesome. And That part I'll give him. So that's the one part I'm kind of concerned about here, where I'm like, I hope you brought someone in that's just as visionary when it comes to that. And I mean, shoot, they're going to do a better job than anything I could do. So I'm not hating. I'm like, good job. But I'm just like, that's my one concern, especially with this, because I know a ton of people that are like, I could care less about the other Transformers, but I want to see this one.
I gotcha. So let's go ahead. Let's see what we have.
Oh, I kind of like that.
The name's Mirage.
Oh, you're sticking Biggie at us?
I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call the trip, same number, same hood. It's all good. Yeah. Nah. Relax. I'm Mirage, remember? And if you don't know, now you know.
Okay. Did we really need to put the Ferrari logo in? Was that necessary? That was, wasn't it? I kind of am excited for this, but I am underwhelmed. But you really shoved Biggie Smalls at us to make us happy too, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't know if it was the music.
I was more excited. I was more excited when I heard Biggie than I was for that. But the gorilla was
trying to trick us.
Don't trick me with Biggie, okay? I don't appreciate it. No, but yeah, no, that's a little underwhelming. It's a little. I wish you would show me more beasts. Don't show me cars.
It feels like an early 2000s Transformers movie to me. So she goes, "It's me, Mirage." I was just waiting for him to do like an Indian accent and go, "It's me, Mirage."
Oh no.
Or something.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? I just felt like it was something that was good for the early 2000s, and it just does not work for 2023 in that kind of way. But if they can capture...
As much as I would love to go back to the early 2000s,
Me
I don't
too.
want a movie that looks like it's for the early 2000s.
No. But here's the thing. I like Bumblebee. If they could find a balance with the way they did Bumblebee and work that into this one, you have me. Because Bumblebee, and I'm not the biggest John Cena fan, but John Cena did a really good job in Bumblebee. And I really enjoyed the storyline within Bumblebee itself. I don't know if it's because of the fact that it was in the 80s and it was nostalgia or stuff like that, but they actually got certain things right, and the humor was not forced into that overly sexualization of doing
Everyone
stuff
and everything.
Right.
What am I sitting on?
Without Shia LaBeouf, there is no Transformers. I know I hate to say that, but it's like,
I just wish he would get his shit together too, because I'm like, Shia, you're great. Stop acting a fool out here. But at least you're not Ezra Millering.
Yeah, he, Transformers. It's just as hard because you're right. It's 2003. It is like, if it came out 2003, it'd be a blockbuster, right? In 2023, would it just be better served coming out on Netflix? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's worth the actual movie theater. I will watch it on HBO Max. I'll watch it on Hulu. I'll watch it on Disney Plus. But I will not go to a movie theater for Transformers.
Especially after what we've gotten.
It's been.
If they drop a trailer and I see some sick ass beast transformations, Abby might pay to go see it. But other than that, I'd rather this come out on a streaming service. And that sucks because this is such a cool IP.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay. So we're all a little underwhelmed. So let's go ahead and go with it's me, Mario.
Why do people love Pete Davidson? I'm sorry, he's just a twerp. I don't get it.
Now I will say this: there's only one thing I liked him in, and that was the King of that movie.
Yep, I can't even remember where I watched it. I remember I was like,
King of Staten Island was like the only piece.
And I can respect anybody because didn't he like fund that and make it? Like,
yeah,
so
it was about his life. It was pretty much about his life.
Yeah, I can respect anybody who does that, and I thought that was decent and good, but I don't understand the hype around him because I'm like, yeah, he's funny sometimes, he's fine, he looks like somebody from high school I'd avoid, but like I swear to God, that'd be like, oh God, they're here at the bar, we should move. Like, that's what Pete Davidson reminds me of. I don't know, I just don't understand the hype around him, but get it, Pete Davidson. I don't
find him that funny with the stand-up. I get the fact that you have the younger audience who will relate to him. Someone around our age may not be able to, and his humor just
Do you
doesn't
think
work.
that's why they brought him in probably for this? Is to suck in the younger because kids
Yep,
are
that's
money.
what it is. Because
Yeah,
think of it
that's what
like
it
this: if you got someone like Shia, which represented who we were at that time,
Yeah.
we would be sold
Yeah.
on this.
This makes sense
And
now.
this is like their version of Shia, basically. For them,
Nope, yep, that's it. I just don't get it though. It's
I don't
yeah.
either.
But like I said, I want if you can give me cool fighting robots and give me a better trailer, I might.
And this
be
is what my
bored.
wife had to say. Pete Davidson is not attractive or talented.
Ooh.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you. Whatever. Let's put it this way: if my phone died and I needed to ask somebody for directions, I wouldn't ask him. I'd be like, "There's something."
What if he was your GPS though?
Do you guys remember giant GPS systems in cars and how hype everybody was about them? Like they thought that was like the coolest thing ever back then. They were like,
I remember.
God.
Right.
The early 2000s. Oh my gosh. I wish I was more geeked for this. I mean, I am. Like I said, I love robots. I love dinosaurs. I love them turning into animals. But I'm just like, man, you've jaded me so bad besides Bumblebee. I don't know if I can get super geeked for this.
Right. So
that gorilla was cool though.
The gorilla was cool, but still
cool.
Yeah.
But do you have anything else that you wanted to mention though, Vernon?
I agree. I don't know if Pete Davidson is the selling point. Here's what I think, and I've had this conversation. I think Hollywood is really at dry spell, and nobody wants to admit it. There isn't that one actor, actress that is just the golden child of Hollywood. Remember, like when we were coming up, we had Will Smith. We had, you
knew that name would bring them in.
That's it. The Denzels of the world. We had,
we have Van Damme, Arnold, Stallone.
Right. There were just certain names that you knew without a shadow of a doubt. They were box office. They were worth seeing. If they were in a movie, it was just going to be successful, whatever the movie was going to be, right? Even if it was Wild Wild West, you were going to go see it just because Will Smith was in it. And now it's like they're
reaching.
Sorry to cut you. Also, Norman, just tell me to shut up if you need to, because I am terrible and I just won't shut up.
It's just Hollywood is reaching for somebody to take the helm.
Well,
and
here's
but
another
even
thing,
think
though,
back then, they were like, not only that, we're going to make a soundtrack with him. We're going to have McDonald's toys. It was like ready to go with everything.
It was a big thing.
Right. Well, here's another thing, though, too. The age of the action movie star is gone. We don't have that face anymore. The only, and we talked about this on our Stallone versus Arnold Schwarzenegger debate that we had on the show, and you can listen to it on the podcast. Yeah, that's free stuff. Anyways, we talked about the age and the era of that action star, and the face of that action star is gone. The only ones that you have is Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham. Those are the only two people that I would actually say, and then of course Keanu.
So when you said that about John Cena, it's like I'm not the hugest. I mean, I like him; he's fine, but I think that he's coming into his own a little bit with everything he's doing, and I think he has potential to get kind of rock status if he wanted to do that. I
never would have
genuinely
thought
think it could.
I never would have thought that, because here's the thing: Peacemaker is what sold me with him.
What comedy did he do? Like he did like a rom-com.
Trainwreck.
And I thought, like, in the few scenes, like I had it on when I was like cleaning or something, so I wasn't fully paying attention, to be fair. But I thought the times he was popping up, he was pretty funny. And I'm like, wonder what? John Cena in movies, you're pretty good. You're all right. I don't mind it. And then Peacemaker, I just started, and I really like that a lot. And I'm like, I think he does have potential to become way up there. And I would have never thought that the "You Can't See Me" guy from when I was younger would be doing this now. But
right. All right. So now we have It's Me, Mario, and then after that we have the person who wound up going on a slapping spree. Ezra Miller. So anyways,
a menace to society.
Right. So which one do you want to go on ahead, do the Flash, or do you want to do Mario?
Let's do Mario. Unless Norman wants to do something, do the other one.
Mario.
Let's do Mario.
Okay. Now I did react to the Super Mario Brothers trailer before, not this one in particular, but the very first one that dropped. And I thought it was okay, but it wasn't like I need to go out and support this movie now. But
Yeah.
let's take a look. Let's see what we have. Maybe this one might actually say, hey, look, it's me, I'm Mario. I need to go ahead and take the kid out to go see my movie.
I just feel like this is a
this
hard
one-
thing to make into a movie.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see.
The Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. When you think it's in trouble, you could call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
What is happening?
Thank you, Super Mario Bros.
Is this real?
The only thing you haven't
Yep.
drained is my bank account.
Yeah.
For super service,
Oh,
text Super Mario Bros. Plumbing today at
they
92955
got me.
Mario. Or reach us on the World Wide Web at smbplumbing.com.
They got me.
There you go.
Yay.
Okay.
All right.
Meow. Ah! You got the cat box! Oh my. I'm sorry. Okay.
Now you die.
I think I want Donkey
Music
Kong
was
more than I want Mario.
PG.
Yeah.
Does anybody else feel that way? They got me in the beginning. I was like, what is happening right now? But I think I want the Donkey Kong movie.
I thought Super Smash Brothers feel. I was looking for Sheamus and the whole squad and Ness to come
Right.
out. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, where's everybody at?
Right.
Yeah, Captain
Oh, yeah.
Falcon. No.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't. What's
It's-
happening?
No. I get Chris Pratt like instead of sticking to it and say we're gonna make a film in an animated universe about the life of what Mario could potentially be and how he exists. No, you threw him in the Super Smash Brothers kind of like Royal Rumble, and if you didn't grow up in that era, like you won't
You're
even
gonna be
know
lost.
how this connects. So for us, it's like I get it, but it's not a movie. It was just a good time. So with a lot of Taco Bell and Mountain Dew. So I just don't know. Right? I just don't know. I'm gonna go thumbs down on the Super Mario Brothers, man.
I thought this was gonna be. Yeah, I feel the same. I was like, "Where's Marth at? Who's about to show up here?"
Right.
But I'm like, why? I thought this was gonna be. Why don't we do Mario going to save Peach?
Right.
What's happening here? Like,
Which would
why
be a lot
would-
more
and-
better served as an animated movie than doing what they're doing. Even with the full length trailer itself that I reacted to, I was like, it's okay.
Donkey
It's-
Kong looks funner. He looks like a funner character. But
I would like to see a Donkey Kong Country animated movie before seeing this.
yeah, well, I don't know how much you guys keep up with the game community, but somehow I made it into I think the Kingdom Hearts community thought that's all I did. And they were like, come into our Discord. So I'm in their Discord and there are a whole bunch of content creators that do Kingdom Hearts stuff. And I was like, you guys know I don't do just this, right? And they're like, what? But I'm in there and I kind of I try to keep up with their gaming stuff as much as I can. But Nintendo pissed off the Super Smash community. They essentially tricked all of the big, huge people, like a worldwide event, to sign up for one and then pulled the rug out from underneath them and was like, oh no, now we're not supporting this and it's not happening. And they were pissed. So I'm kind of surprised that they're like, let's make it like Super Smash. You just crapped all over that community. And now you're making a movie with Mario where it's very Super Smash-esque. And I'm like, I don't know, that community they're crazy, first and foremost. I don't know if you guys know people who still play Super Smash, but they're nuts. I love you guys, but you're nuts. And yeah, I don't know if they'll support this. Like you said, our generation gets the Super Smash stuff, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get the whole community that you just insulted to support this now, the younger ones that you pissed off. So it's like, I don't know,
Well,
Nintendo.
don't forget this. You have little kids, though, that would go see this. So
Right.
if you're not going to get the teenagers, you're going to get the little kids.
That's true. Now, who's
So-
voicing who? Did you say Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt's voicing Mario.
They really love him, don't they? You give him Lego, you give him. I like nothing against Chris Pratt. I mean, he does. I mean, whatever. But yeah, can we give other people chances to do things?
I just feel like sometimes you can get a voice actor that can do this.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know?
kind of sick of just voice actors not getting shots. Like
Mhm.
that, I'm kind of, yeah, that's.
But as for me, as for someone that likes Super Mario Brothers, this thing with the Beastie Boy rap type thing that they did for their plumbing video is very cringy. I did not like that. Although I'm not the movie going audience for this movie, but for me, if my kid wanted to go see it, we'll go see it. But am I gonna go ahead and do it for myself? No, that's
I
definitely
thought
out.
that the beginning part was like, at first I was like, this can't be it. And I was like, oh, it's a commercial. And I was like, are
Right.
you going? You're obviously going for like that awkward infomercial from back in the day vibe. But still, I was like, I think this goes past that and is too cringy and too much.
Most definitely.
And where's Luigi at? All you did was show him in the beginning.
Well, from what I saw in the other trailer, it looked like they're doing the Luigi's haunted house too.
Oh, see, like I was just like, don't stick them both in the beginning of the trailer and then be like, well, here's just Mario
Right.
getting beat up by Donkey Kong, who seems to be cooler.
Let's see. Brandy says it reminded her of Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's a perfect analogy, in my
that's a good
opinion.
analogy, yeah.
Right, and that's what I mean. That's why I said like Mario, it would be kind of hard to adapt because that's like I said, I didn't play that a ton, but isn't that the whole thing is going to save your girl? So it's like that's a pretty basic story we could all get behind, but there's not like it's not like playing a Final Fantasy or whatever where we're like, oh, we know every little thing about Sephiroth and Cloud and all this crap.
Right.
It's like it's Mario. He's the plumber. He's going to save.
It's basic. It's just a basic
movie.
movie.
It's a fun basic thing. So it's like I'm not hating on that. Basic can be great, but why? Like that's kind of a like I said. There's you have to add a lot in to make it into a decent film and not game.
Exactly. So now we're wrapping things up now with The Flash. And I actually posted a short from last night with my trailer reaction to that. And I got geeked out over Keaton coming back, just shaking my head. I was screaming out, yes, the whole entire thing. And then
I am
also,
Batman. I died.
Me too. But we'll hit up the controversy stuff after we react to it. And then that way we'll balance everything out.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's go on ahead.
I promise, John, I won't go full J. Jonah Jameson until halfway through. I'm just kidding.
Okay, deal. But I did mention in my intro and everything about how I felt about it, about Ezra and things like that, and I'll mention it again here in case anybody doesn't want to watch my trailer reaction. I can do this with you guys. So let's go ahead. Let's watch The Flash.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere. Another timeline. Another universe.
I like that.
So why do you want to stay and fight to save this one? Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not going to lose her again.
Oh.
Time has a pattern that it can't help reliving. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets. My face. You stole my face.
God, there's two of them. No, I'm just kidding.
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be. Bruce, I could fix things. You could also destroy everything.
This can't be happening. I completely broke the universe.
Yeah, you did, Ezra. No, I'm just kidding.
We've been waiting for you.
I created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
Want some help?
That right there is my favorite.
Mine too.
That music.
It's so iconic.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
Feels every time.
Instant hit! What the God is on one line. Instant hit!
Right.
Exactly.
If I can't undo what I did,
We don't care. Michael Keaton's here, I think.
if I can't get back,
That's a cool shot. I like that.
A future.
What's the play? Batman, what do we do? We try not to die.
Right, because I'm murderer Batman. I like that too. That was cool.
Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm
Well, we're Barry.
He doesn't even say dude like genuinely like to take on the Flash.
Barry, what are you doing?
Our kids are gonna want to see this.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
And I hate
I'm excited for this. Okay. So here's the thing. I understand that Ezra did a bunch of stuff and things like that, and now he's getting help because the studios told him to go get help. Otherwise, he would still be on his crime scene still.
Maybe it's because every YouTube channel, maybe like us, we're all saying, WB, why aren't you just coming out and saying you're going to get this man some freaking help because he's out here doing crazy stuff? And then all of a sudden you're like, we're going to get him some help because he's doing crazy stuff. So we do not condone that crazy stuff, but I never wanted this movie to get thrown out. That's not fair to everybody who worked on it.
And it's too expensive for them to throw this movie out. You cannot do reshoots because of the fact that he is the lead. Now, if he had a cameo appearance, if he was a background and stuff like that, yes, you can do cameos.
It would also be different if it wasn't totally done. It was like production
This was already in the can. This was already in the can, ready to go. But now this is another thing I wanted to mention too is now I know my co-host Alex said that he's not going to watch this unless it's on streaming service for HBO Max because of the fact with the stuff with Ezra Miller, which is completely understandable.
I did that with Fantastic
like
Beasts. I was like, I don't feel cool giving you my money right now.
But number one, this is how they should do it. Make Michael Keaton be your front man for this movie.
Right.
Center around Michael Keaton's character, which is Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
And not let Ezra be part of that. And once the PR stuff is done, have another meeting with Ezra. Hey, look, man, you did some messed up stuff. And I know that you're getting help, and we appreciate the fact that you're getting help, and we're giving you the help that you need. But right now is not the time for you to be in this franchise. Our door is open for you later on in the future, but not for now. Not now.
It's the same as going, actions speak louder than words. If I totally screw you guys over doing something, and then you're like, okay, Abby, we're gonna let you come back. I wouldn't be upset if you're like, no, you have to prove yourself. Like you do. You need to prove that you have made changes and strides and whatever it is, whether that's his mental health or I don't know, crazy behavior, whatever it is. So I honestly would respect a studio if they were like, hey, you're having issues. We will, like you said, leave the door open. But you got to make sure you're handling your stuff. And then that would show that you actually care about your talent too and the people that work for you. So I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I'm like, man, you were doing some pretty jacked up stuff. So I just hope everybody's okay.
Yeah. And I'm sure it places everybody in a weird space because, you know, you want to condemn it. You want to, you know, make sure that you stand behind and say we don't support this type of behavior in any way, shape, or form. At the same token, you're trying to get this person help because that's still a human being and, you know, you believe in second chances. And then at a third level, you're also trying not to penalize the other people that contributed to the film. They're not able to stay right. So it's a very complex thing. Besides Ezra's issues, right? If you take that element away, and I told John this, I said, you know, my biggest fear is that the movie could be more successful than what you think. Right, like we don't see the the flip side because if it like breaks, you know, like somebody sent me a stat. They said no DC movie has done $1 billion just within the United States. Dark Knight did it globally with all three, but individuals in the U.S. never broke it. If you broke that plateau, right, what does it send to the studio? Is Batman worth revisiting, and do you continue with Michael Keaton? You know, like, are you gonna fix the mistake you made almost 35 years ago, you know?
God, yeah. Oh my God.
And bring about the real end to this. Like, if we every true Batman fan, every true DC fan wants the real Batman movie that we all are hoping for, which is the multiverse of Batmans.
Oh, see, I'm a little bit different. I was telling John this, and I've been saying this ever since stuff was happening, I was like, no, pivot into Batman Beyond. I was like,
That's what
focus.
I want.
That's
I was
fair.
like, focus
That's
on
fair.
the Keats,
That's
have him
fair.
behind the computer, and then I was like, do as much as you can with, and have a character come in that ends up we're pivoting to Batman Beyond territory. I'm all for the multiverse, of course, but I'm just like, I want Batman Beyond, man. You want
That's
to talk
what
about
I
early
want.
2000s stuff?
And
I
I
want
think-
Batman Beyond. Like, I think that would be sick.
And you see, I think a Batman Beyond movie works now
Yeah, it does.
compared to the early 90s.
But I
stuff
also
like
I
that.
can't. I don't want Batman Beyond unless we have Keaton behind the computer.
Right.
Right.
Give me Keaton all day, every day.
Keaton and Chris Pratt.
Right.
Right.
Fuck
I
this
put him back
nonsense.
in for Jerry McGinnis.
I can't. I'm like, and I like Chris Pratt, but I'm like, man, God. But no, that's what I was telling people from the jump. Like, especially we're movie people, so we get how things
Right.
are. But like when people are like, oh, this and that, I'm like, no, they can't do that. And I'm just like, do you understand how many people work on something? I'm like, people put years of their life into working on stuff. Just because they're not on the screen doesn't mean they didn't bust their ass. And I don't
Right.
think that it's right because he acted a fool for it to not
And
come
they should
out.
get punished.
Yeah,
for
and
it.
I know people that have been geeked for a flat. I think you're right. I think this is going to break $1 billion. I do.
Mhm.
Because I
And
know
it
people that
has
are
to.
geeked.
Here's the thing. It needs to make $1 billion because it's a $200 million budget.
Jesus.
And that's why they don't want to throw it in the tank or anything like that for streaming services because they're wasting $200 million with this movie if they
Right.
did that. And they know what they have. And I believe in the test screenings now because I've actually heard a couple of people within the industry too where they're like, you know, you have to watch out for the Flash movie. The Flash movie looks really good. And I was
Yeah.
like, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, we heard this before. Standing ovation for Batman versus Superman. We heard this with the other DC movies and properties. Okay, let me see what they're throwing at us. And then they give us a trailer. I'm like, okay, so this is the stuff that they're delivering on, and that expectation. And I'm hoping that expectations met once I see this in the theater. My other thing is this, though. Okay, we know who Ezra Miller is because we're within this industry itself, right? But here's the thing: does the average person know who Ezra Miller is? And Vernon and I had this conversation.
I will say
And-
this. You know how I gauge things at the plant. I have 2,000 people, all different walks of life. And I will say people and my mom, like I gauge things. That's how I gauge things for like the average person. And I will say they knew who he was after he was acting a fool. But and I thought that was kind of crazy because I was like, I didn't even think you would know who Ezra Miller was. But they were like, oh yeah, it's the guy tearing up Hawaii. So they might not know him by name.
It sounds like a hurricane.
But I definitely think, man, people are, yeah, right. Hurricane Ezra's coming. Look out, hide. But no, I do. I think, but I know people that were like, please do not let this not get made or not come out because they are geeked. I mean, when did they announce this? 2016?
Yeah.
People have been waiting for this. I like the
2016.
Flash, but I'm not like Flash.
And it's been in developmental hell since 2016 with directors leaving and stuff like that. And then finally you get the director from It, who made the It remake, Andy Muschietti, doing this. And at first I'm like, okay, so this is going to have some horror elements. And then after that, he tears me down and said, no, there's not going to be any horror elements in this movie. This is going to be a straight up comic book movie with no darkness within the horror element.
Let me ask you guys, what are you most excited to see besides Michael Keaton?
I'm excited to see Supergirl for once. I'm excited to see Kara. And I don't think she's going to have any dialogue. I think it's going to be where she's tearing stuff up. She has to go after Zod. And of course, we actually get to see her go up against Zod's little technology that he has. So that's something that we have to see again, but now it's through the lenses of Kara. So that's something I'm really excited about, how they do Kara. But I know Vernon wants to say something.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Zod interaction. But it's pretty much just Michael Keaton. You know, like
the Keats. We all want
the Keats because
that's all we care about.
We never got to close that chapter. That was the problem. So now it's like, oh, this is it finally, you know. So
right now in my dreams, Danny DeVito would pop up, but
hey, I said all they need to do is bring back George Clooney and Arnold.
Oh my God.
No,
no, they can stay.
They can stay. But
And
I wouldn't
or-
mind, like, as he's going through the timelines, if we don't see little nods of past movies.
That's exactly what I want them to do with the MCU, I don't want I want them to do a little run by and you just see Blade and Deadpool like we don't want to participate with those jabronis and then go away. And that's all I want. I'm like, don't put them fully in the MCU, but just show
having
them
like a
somewhere.
logo and
exactly. And that's that's the same thing. I would love to see the Flash going through all these timelines, and if I could just get Michelle Pfeiffer anywhere, that would be sick. Anything like
do
that.
the
would be so
de-aging
cool.
for her and do a de-aging for her. That would be awesome.
I will say, because we all know superhero movies and stuff weren't taken seriously for awards and everything before The Dark Knight, that performance as Catwoman, I'm not saying she should have won an Oscar, but she should have been nominated. She was great as Catwoman.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When it first, she should have. Yeah.
Oh, at least acknowledged. And I'm sure we could say that about a ton of different ones, but that one I always use. I'm like, that's such a great performance.
All right. Well, that's everything that we had wanted to do for our trailer reactions and stuff like that. What was y'all's favorite movie trailer? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button. Also, too, on Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, we do our Last of Us review every Wednesday night. So we're going to be doing our review. Matter of fact, I have this Lvii podcast joining me for that one, along with ACS Universe and a bunch of other podcasts though too. And of course, I have Josh from the Midnight Cinema joining us for that as well.
Oh my god!
He's going to be finally showing up.
He cracks me up. I need to get in touch with him. He's one of my favorite people to chit chat with. He cracks me up.
Definitely. But Vernon, my question is for you, my man. Is where can people follow you at, or do you have anything planned? What's going on with your podcast?
Look, CVMK on YouTube. All you got to do is type it in.
That's you, right?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Okay,
that's me. All right.
I just wanted to make sure because I was like, I that's why I was looking down here. I was like, I hope that's not. I hope there's not words with it. And I was like, that's him, right? And then
that's
I was
me. CVMK. Look, the best business podcast out there, where we take business and entertainment and we collide it together.
I love that.
I appreciate you.
That's awesome. No, I really like that a lot.
Appreciate you. But that's it, man. We got some cool things coming. Release the episode today. I need to get back at it. I was telling John, I said I've hit creative fatigue, but I'm ready to recharge, ready to, go back at it. And we got some cool things coming. But I appreciate it.
I took 2 weeks off this past couple of weeks. I was just like, man, I'm going to throw out a 2-minute reaction. I'm taking a mental health break. I feel just because I don't want to be fake, you don't want to go on and be like, okay, I'm tired. It's then it's not fun for anybody. So I really like that whole concept. That's really cool.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, originally tomorrow night I was supposed to do my Scream 2 review. This is actually for our Scream watches that we're doing. And we're actually pushed that all the way to Friday night at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So that's going to be it as far as the show goes. But thank you again, Vernon, for coming in and doing these trailer reactions with me. I always enjoy it. Thank you, Abby, as well.
I'm so sorry I was late, guys. I felt so bad. My mom got her knee replaced, and I was like, I'm going live at 9. And she's like, I need half and half. I can't live without coffee. And I'm like, great.
Don't worry. I've been through that myself with my mom and everything.
I love her to death. I don't want it to come off like I don't want to help my mom. I'm like, you couldn't have told me 20 minutes earlier. And I was so proud, John. I'm always tardy. I was like, I'm ready. Let's go. And then he's like, I need but then also you don't want to deal with that monster without coffee. So I was like,
no. I'm glad you served her well. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for our show for tonight. And always until next time. Bye-bye.